Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great weekend. I think this video is going up on the weekend, either Sunday or Monday. So if it's Monday, I hope you had a great weekend. I filmed my video on the Urban Decay Naked Cyber Palette, so I want to upload that first. I'll link it in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. It should have gone up a day or two before this one. But anyway, today I thought I would sit down and talk about all of the new makeup releases and film a purchase or pass video. I was kind of scrolling through them earlier, and I don't know there are a ton of products that are must-haves for me, but there are some that I'm curious about. The Sephora VIB sale has to be right around the corner. I think it's typically in November, so there are products I'm planning on adding to my wish list, and then once I can get a discount, I might pick a few up. And then of course there are products I'll be skipping over too. It looks like a lot of brands are starting to release their holiday sets, which I always get really excited about because I feel like typically you can get really good deals in terms of value. So I'm planning on doing like a whole purchase or pass on the different holiday sets. That should be up within a week or two. But today I wanted to kind of focus on just like regular releases, maybe a couple of holiday products thrown in. We'll see how it goes. I wrote down a list of the things I wanted to talk about, and there are a lot. So let's jump into it and we'll start talking about the products. It is so sunny today. Normally the sun doesn't come through my window that intensely. I'm going to end up putting a picture of the makeup products in front, but I thought it would be nice to open up the blinds, have some natural light, but it is bright today. So here is some good news to kick off this video. I saw this on Instagram yesterday and it made me so happy. Select Becca cosmetics products are going to start being sold at Smashbox.com. Even though Becca closed, I think technically in September, I think you still might be able to get a few of their products online, but last time I checked, the popular products that everyone loved were no longer available, but it looks like their pressed highlighters and their under eye brightening corrector are going to be available on the Smashbox website starting in October. It looks like there are also new shades of the under eye corrector. I don't know which shades they had because I had never tried that, but now there is a fair light, a medium dark, and then a dark. I'm personally really excited the highlighters will still be around. I did already purchase a backup of my favorite Champagne Pop because I've told you guys multiple times, I just don't know what I'll do without that highlighter formula. It is my go-to, my absolute favorite. So it's nice to know they will be around if I ever want to purchase another one. It takes forever to get through them, but just the thought that they wouldn't be around anymore made me so sad. So I'm excited about this. How do you guys feel about it? I know most people seem to be excited because those are two of their most loved products, but I know I was reading some comments from people saying it was like a whole marketing tactic to get people to buy up all of the remaining Becca products, and now they're still available. I think Becca Cosmetics was going to close either way because otherwise they would move the entire stock to the Smashbox website, although that wouldn't really make sense. Becca and Smashbox have the same parent company. So I do think it makes a little bit of sense to keep around the really big best sellers because they know those products will still sell. And I also think it's a smart move to drive traffic to the Smashbox website because I do feel like over the past few years, Smashbox has kind of lost a little bit of its popularity. I still have Smashbox products I love. I still use the primer water, the primerizer. Their face primers in general are really good, but you don't hear a ton about Smashbox these days. And even when I'm like in a Sephora store and I go over to the Smashbox section, it doesn't look like a ton of people are like flocking to that area. So I do think it will be a smart business move for Smashbox as well. Either way, for me, I don't really care about the motive. I'm just excited about the fact that the highlighters are not going anywhere. I know a lot of people love the under eye corrector as well, so I'm sure you guys are still happy that's around if that's one of your favorites too. Speaking of highlighters, LYS Beauty has a new highlighter collection, which is exciting. This is a brand that just really pulls me in. I really like their matte bronzer. Their foundation is nice. I have their pressed powder, and I do want to pick up one of their blushes during the Sephora VIB sale. So this collection includes the Aim High Multi-Use Liquid Highlighter for $19 and then the Aim High Pressed Highlighter for $19 as well, and each one comes in 3 different shades. And then there is a Think Bright Glow and Hydrate Serum as well, and everything will be available on September 22nd on Sephora's website. I definitely plan on trying one of the powder highlighters. I think I'll probably grab the shade Brave, which is the lightest one. I don't really get into liquid highlighters as much, but I'm still looking for some good pressed powder highlighter options out there. My highlighter collection is pretty minimal these days, so I don't feel like I need to go out and buy a ton, but I would always love to find another powder I like as much as the Becca highlighters. And you guys left a lot of suggestions in my recent video where I asked for them, so I definitely added quite a few to my list as well. But I'm just curious about this brand. I really like the products I've tried so far. The prices are good, so I think I'll probably try to grab one during the Sephora VIB sale. ColourPop just released a new fall collection. Well, before we talk about that, I did want to mention they were kind of sneak peeking a new Hocus Pocus collection. They posted a picture of a candle, either on their TikTok or their Instagram. I think their TikTok, and then and people were screenshotting it and posting it on Instagram. So I haven't seen any photos of the collection yet. I feel like they're going to release them any day now, probably as soon as I upload this video. So I'm really curious to see what it's going to be like. I know the first one was such a hit, but it sold out and they didn't bring it back. So I hope they have enough stock for people who are interested in trying this one out. I think it could be really fun. The first palette was really colorful, really beautiful, perfect for the fall season. I don't know if they can get any more fall than the It's a Mood palette. That is like my ideal fall palette, but I'm still curious to see what they do. I think I told you guys last year, but that Hocus Pocus movie, it scared me so much when I was a child. My sister and I watched it all the time, and I'm kind of surprised we were allowed to watch it because I think it gave me full-on nightmares, and I haven't seen it as an adult. I'm sure now as an adult I would be completely fine, and I'm kind of curious to watch it again, but I think there's a Hocus Pocus sequel coming out. I think I read that. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but I know Hocus Pocus has like a big fan base. So I do think it's a fun collection, especially for October. Anyway, their new collection that's already out is called Plush Like Me. It's available now on the ColourPop website. So there's a 12-pan eyeshadow palette for $18. It looks so familiar. There's a palette that I have in mind that had like deeper pink packaging that had neutrals with a few pops of color, and I cannot remember the name. I think they released it during the fall a few years ago. This one looks so similar. I don't have mine anymore. I think I ended up decluttering it. I think it's pretty, but this really does look like so many of their palettes that I have tried in the past. So for me personally, I know that I don't need this one, but I could see people enjoying it, especially if you tend to wear a lot of neutrals. So I don't plan on picking that up, but they also did 4 different blush, what are those called? They're cream blush sticks for $9 each. There are 2 lighter shades, 2 deeper shades. I've actually really been loving those lately. I have some from the Limoncello collection, and I do end up reaching for them a good amount because you can just apply them directly to the cheeks and blend them in with your fingers, and they're nice for everyday wear. My little pug is sleeping right here next to me because the sun shines on the floor and she likes to sleep directly in the sun, but she is snoring very loudly today, so I'm not sure if you can actually hear her. But there are also 8 Luxe Blur lipsticks for $8 each. I am curious about this formula because I don't think I've ever tried the Luxe Blur formula. I know that I've tried their regular Luxe lipsticks, and I have a few in my collection. They're nice. I wouldn't say they're my go-to formula, so for that reason, I don't know that I'll run out and buy these. But if you guys have tried the Luxe Blur lipsticks and the regular lipsticks, or the regular Luxe lipsticks, what's the difference? I'm assuming the Blur lipsticks have more of like a soft matte finish. I really like the packaging and I like the shade range. They all kind of come in a range of like pinky nudes, from lighter shades to deeper shades. So what do you think? Is that a must-have formula for you? But they also did 4 lippy pencils for $6 each and a Soul Body Powder for $10. So I know a lot of people might consider this collection boring. I know that I don't need the palette, but I think the other products could be nice options for the fall season. I don't know that I'll run out and buy any of these things. I just feel like I personally don't need them, but I could see a lot of people enjoying them. I think the colors they created for this collection are really pretty. I saw that Anastasia Beverly Hills released a preview of their new Holiday 2021 palette. I think it's been a while since we've seen a palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. We've seen some Norvina palettes. I know she did like a mini version of Soft Glam. I feel like I'm missing one. I think there was one over the past year, but I don't know. I guess I can just go on the website and look. I don't think so. All I'm seeing is the Soft Glam mini version and then the Norvina Pro Palette Volume 5. So I guess there hasn't been an ABH palette in a really long time, but it looks like they are coming out with one for the holidays. This is the Primrose palette. It comes with 10 eyeshadows and then I think 2 face products. They could probably technically be used as eyeshadows too. It kind of strikes me as a spring palette, but I do think it's pretty. I do like the different tones in here. I don't know, there was a time when Anastasia would release a palette and I just felt like I had to have it no matter what it was, but I feel like that time has kind of passed for me. I don't use my Anastasia palettes as much as I used to. I still like them, I just feel like they're not my go-to palettes these days. So for me, I don't feel like I need to run out and buy this one. I'll definitely watch some videos and reviews and see what people think, and if it's a formula people love, maybe I'll end up grabbing it, but I don't know. I wonder if it's going to be limited edition since it is a holiday release. It doesn't look like there's any price info yet, or if there are going to be any other products in the collection. I haven't seen any photos, but if there is anything else available, I'll make sure to talk about it in an upcoming video. I think it's pretty. I think it could be a hit for them, but for me, I just don't think I will end up grabbing it, at least not right now. What do you guys think of this? Are you excited that they are releasing a new palette? Are you just kind of over it? I don't know. Again, I feel like Anastasia is kind of like Smashbox for me. Not quite as bad, but I feel like they've lost like a little bit of their luster and I don't get as excited about their new releases. So Milk Makeup just released something I do want to try. This is something I'll probably add to my wish list and then maybe grab it during the Sephora VIB sale. It's the Hydro Grip Eyeshadow and Concealer Primer. It is available now on Sephora's website for $24. So it's supposed to be an invisible hydrating primer that also makes your skin look and feel really smooth. And then of course it's supposed to lock your concealer and eyeshadow into place to prevent creasing, fading, and smudging. It says that it provides a soft focus effect around the eyes. I don't know about that. I feel like that would be amazing for my under eye wrinkles, but I don't know that it would work a whole lot differently than other eyeshadow primers, but they kind of have me intrigued. I do like the original Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I know they also have like a priming spray or setting spray that people rave about that I kind of want to try as well. Eyeshadow primer lasts me forever. Right now I'm working on using up my Urban Decay Primer Potion and an Hourglass eyeshadow primer, but I'm almost done with them. So I do think I might end up grabbing this during the Sephora VIB sale. It just sounds like it could be really good, and the description definitely has me intrigued. So I think I will try it. Milk Makeup also just released their Bionic Liquid Blush. It's a liquid formula that can be blended out to be pretty sheer or layered up for more of an intense payoff. And it says that it's infused with hyaluronic acid and mushroom for a hydrated flush of color. I feel like I've been seeing mushroom listed as an ingredient a lot lately. I recently got like a mushroom serum that does make my skin look amazing, but I do feel like it's like a new popular ingredient. Anyway, there are 4 shades. They retail for $20 each. I think the colors are pretty and they do look nice on the skin. I appreciate these promo photos because you can see what they actually look like. You can see that people still have texture on their skin, and I think that's nice. I don't get into liquid blush these days. I mean, I feel like cream products are kind of a stretch for me. That's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I'm kind of getting into those. So for now, I'll be skipping over this. I just feel like liquid products are a little bit intimidating. I have a few liquid blushes. I have the ColourPop Cheek Dews, which I don't love those. They tend to separate and expire pretty quickly. I also have the Flower Beauty liquid blushes, but when it comes down to it, I definitely prefer like a cream blush or a powder blush compared to liquid, so I don't think I'll be trying these. So I wanted to talk about this and hear your thoughts on this. Hourglass released some photos of their holiday collection for 2021. It does look like they are finally listening to feedback about the shade range within their palettes. So what do you guys think? Are you into them? Will you be buying them? The top 2 palettes look somewhat similar to what they've done in the past. I mean, the blushes in the palette on the left definitely look more vibrant, but I think we all know that Hourglass has a tendency to kind of turn up the saturation on their photos, and a lot of the time what their promo photos make a palette look like isn't what it actually looks like in person. I hope that's not the case. I just feel like they really have a pattern of doing that. The bottom palette looks gorgeous and their powders really are so nice. So if this is what it looks like in person, of course that would be amazing for people who have been asking for a deeper palette. At this point, I feel like a lot of people are just over Hourglass, and you know, because it's taken them so long to extend their shade range, people just have kind of looked to other brands. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think if you plan on picking them up. I still don't purchase Hourglass products at this point. Honestly, their holiday palettes are really expensive. I did purchase one a few years ago and I did use it a lot. I actually ended up purchasing a couple of full-size products after having that holiday palette, but I didn't use it enough to probably justify the price point, and there were a few shades in there I didn't end up reaching for. So even though I've always loved their powders, I do enjoy their formulas, I don't plan on picking these up, but I just thought I would ask you what you guys think of this. NikkieTutorials is releasing a new brand called Nimya. I have her video on my watch later list. I have like a giant playlist full of videos that I need to catch up on. So I'm definitely curious to hear her thoughts behind the brand, her inspiration. Whenever a creator comes out with a new brand, I always like watching their announcement video to hear what they, you know, why they created the products and just their excitement. I think it's really fun. So I am, of course, so excited for her. These products will be available on September 23rd on the Nimya website. So there's a cooling eye stick for $22, which is supposed to instantly depuff and hydrate your stressed eyes. And then there's also a moisturizer primer hybrid for $30. And then there's a serum for $37, a setting spray for $25, and then also a little fan for $15. I think the product that sounds the most interesting to me is the moisturizer primer all-in-one. I think that could be a great option before you go in with makeup. NikkieTutorials knows what she's doing when it comes to skin prep and makeup, so I'm definitely curious to see what she ends up releasing in her brand down down the line, but I think this is a fun way to kick it off with like good base products to prep your skin. I definitely plan on watching her video though, because I want to hear her thoughts behind the brand too. So super random, but there is a sneak peek of the Too Faced Spring 2022 collection out. This is so crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's only a few months until these products are actually released, but it looks like they have an eyeshadow palette, and then they have their Better Than Sex mascara in different packaging. So the only new product it looks like so far is the palette. I actually think it's really pretty. I know people love to hate on Too Faced palettes, but I do think this color story is perfect for the spring. You get some lighter pastels, a few pinks, a couple of warm tones. I could definitely see this being a popular release next spring. I don't know, I'm surprised they already sneak peeked it because I feel like they usually do a lot of holiday products, but it does look nice. I think they've switched it up a little bit with their palette design. They did this design for like the teddy bear palette as well. I know a lot of people seem to enjoy that. Whenever I'm at Ulta or Sephora, that's always sold out. So I feel like it has to be popular. It's always interesting because what's popular on YouTube or within the beauty community isn't always the same as what's popular with, you know, everyday makeup consumers, of course. A lot of people like staple neutral palettes. This one's a little bit more colorful because you do get those pastel tones, but I like it. I think it's fun. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll end up buying it. I'm not even thinking about spring makeup right now. I'm mostly excited about the holiday releases. So Charlotte Tilbury does have a new holiday palette coming out. This is the Instant Eye Palette, Smoky Eyes Are Forever. There are 12 different shades. So she usually does these palettes during the holiday season. I've never tried them, but I do like the fact that they're kind of set in these different trios because you can stick with one trio or of course mix and match the shades, but I think the layout makes it easy to use. And if I was gifting someone like a luxury palette, I think this would be a nice option because if you don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, you might be overwhelmed or confused on eyeshadow placement. I feel like that was always the case for me before I really got into YouTube. So I like the fact that she does these trios that are really easy to kind of follow when you're doing your makeup. I don't know. I've only tried one Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette. It was a few years ago. It was like this sparkly topper palette, and I just found it so underwhelming for the price point. So since then, I haven't tried any of her eyeshadows. There are a few quads that have kind of caught my eye. She tends to stick with like the neutral theme, kind of like a softer smoky eye. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think her palettes are worth the money? I know they're expensive. There's no price out for this one yet, but I think usually they're over $70. If you've tried her formula, would you say it's similar to Natasha Denona, Anastasia? What would you compare it to? Because the only palette that I tried was like that sparkly topper palette, but I don't know that that was really a good representation of her regular formula because they were meant to be sheer sparkly toppers. So I'm curious. I won't buy this one, but I want to know, are there any other Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palettes that you think are must-haves? Rare Beauty just released a new brow product. This is the Brow Harmony Shape and Fill Duo. It's available now for $24. So it's a waterproof brow putty that softly shapes and fills in the brows for a natural look that won't smudge. It glides on creamy, but then sets down to a buildable powder finish. I don't understand looking at the picture. Are there two different shades, or is one side a powder and one side a putty? Let me just look on Sephora's website. Okay, so they're both putties. One side is just a lighter shade, one side is a deeper shade, and then it also comes with like a brush and a spoolie. I mean, it sounds interesting. I don't know. I don't think it's something that I would use. I tend to be a big brow pencil and brow pen fan. I used to love brow powder like years ago. That was my go-to. So I do think it is a nice option. It tends to be very quick. It looks a little bit softer, not as intense and harsh as maybe like a brow pencil or a brow pen. I think it all just comes down to technique. You can go very light-handed with a pencil and a powder, but for me, I just feel like powders don't always look as good on me as brow pens and brow pencils do. So I don't think I'll buy that, but if you guys do want to check it out, you can get it now on the Sephora website. Patrick Ta just released the Major Volume Mascara. This looks really nice. It's getting really good reviews, which is part of the reason why it caught my eye when I was scrolling through Sephora's website. It's a new product, but it already had a lot of 5-star reviews. I will say when I went in and looked, it kind of looked like they sent out a bunch of samples, maybe through like Influencer or something like that. So a lot of people are rating it, and that doesn't mean people can't be honest if they're giving it a rave review, but sometimes when there's a new product and there are so many reviews, I'm like, oh wow, I should check that out, and then I'll go in and look and they've kind of sent out samples. So that is something I just kind of take into account, but it says that it is an intensely black ultra dramatic mascara, which is what I typically look for. There's a custom double cut brush that combs through and loads your lashes for the ultimate volume, lift, and definition. That sounds like my kind of mascara. I'm such a drugstore mascara type of person. I'll buy the occasional high-end mascara, but I don't know. I'm always hesitant because they're expensive. This one's $29. I don't know. I know that I've been raving about the Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume nonstop. That really has been my go-to. So for now, I'm not really looking to buy a high-end mascara, but again, I think I'll add it to my loves list, and then when the Sephora VIB sale rolls around, maybe I'll try it. I typically do buy a high-end mascara during that sale, although 20% off of a $29 mascara isn't a huge savings, but it is something. So we'll see. I'll revisit it at another time, but as far as high-end mascaras go, that one is at like the top of my wish list currently. Beautyblender is releasing a new skin tint. I know people love their skin tints. This is a buildable long-wear natural radiant finish with light to medium coverage. So it has the texture of a serum, it has skincare benefits, and it also gives you a skin-like finish. There are 20 flexible tone adapting shades and it retails for $29. So it looks and sounds nice. I'm not a big skin tint fan. I know I'm not, and people get like a little bit annoyed at me because I tend to prefer medium or even full coverage foundations. That's just what I typically go for. I feel like if I'm going to take the time to apply makeup, I want it to last on my oily skin and cover redness and cover breakouts. And for makeup to do that, typically it does end up being a little bit more medium coverage. I have such a hard time finding like a good skin tint that stays in place on my oily skin. Usually lighter coverage products like the Fenty Blur one, or even like the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, which I do like. They don't last as well as a foundation on my oily skin. They just don't. So if you guys have oily skin and you have a skin tint favorite, I would love to know. But truthfully, I either wear a foundation or I just skip makeup. I don't typically go in with light coverage products because for me, I just feel like, what's the point? I'd rather either just wear the makeup or skip it altogether. But I know some people do love skin tints. Lighter coverage products are a thing that people enjoy. They are a little bit more trendy these days. They're just not typically for me. I will say I've been enjoying the new Essence foundation, which is lighter coverage. You can definitely sheer it out. But again, I just feel like if I'm going to wear makeup, I'd rather go for it and wear makeup or just skip it. So I don't know, skin tints just aren't my thing. They're just not. As much as I would like to enjoy them, I don't, but never say never, because I used to say that I hated cream products and now I've been enjoying them. So if I can find a good skin tint that will last on my oily skin, I could change my mind. Here is a skincare product that caught my eye. This is the Glow Recipe Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum. I really like the different Glow Recipe products I've tried. I especially love like their watermelon line. Their daily moisturizer is one of my favorites. It gives my skin such a beautiful, like glowy appearance. And anyway, this serum is available now on Sephora's website. So they describe it as a potent, which I don't love that word for skincare. I feel like that kind of intimidates me, but it's a potent, visibly brightening serum that reduces the appearance of dark spots for visibly glowing, even-toned skin, and it retails for $45. I do like brightening serums whenever my skin breaks out, which isn't too often, but I do get breakouts, especially around my chin. It always leaves like a scar or a dark spot behind. So I really try to be good about using brightening serums for that reason. And I really like one from Murad. That's the one I'm using right now, but I do like Glow Recipe. So again, I think I'll add this to my Sephora VIB sale wish list. My wish list is going to be so long. I'll film a video sharing which products I'm considering, but I don't know when the sale is. I'm assuming it's going to be like the beginning of November. That's when it typically is. The last thing I wanted to mention is that Juvia's place is also doing skincare. I think this was kind of hinted at a few months ago, but the products are now available on the Juvia's place website. If you just go to their website, you can click a tab to head over to Juvia's Skin. And oh, it looks like they released a lot of products. Okay, so there are 12 products. So I feel like that's a pretty solid line. They kind of cover all of the different categories. It looks like the least expensive products are 16, and the most expensive, which is a vitamin C serum, is 45. So they have serums, cleansing balms, oils, exfoliators. I would definitely try some of the products. I feel like I have so much skincare right now. There are products that I'm trying to use up, some new products that I've been testing out, and there are just so many brands I'm enjoying. I feel like over the past year or two, or even maybe a little bit longer, brands have really been focusing on skincare, so there's just so much good skincare out there right now. I don't do a ton of skincare focused videos, but I do want to talk more about it in some upcoming videos because there are products that are so good. I'm not a skincare expert by any means, but I do feel like it's sometimes helpful to hear from someone who might have a similar skin type to you, who's trying out different products, and hear what works and what doesn't. So I think I will kind of incorporate it more into some upcoming videos, maybe favorites videos. fails videos and kind of apply the products and show you guys how they actually work and which ones are making a difference. So I don't know that I'll try these products anytime soon, but I am curious. I like Juvia's Place makeup products, so their skincare products do have me interested at least. Okay, I think that's everything that I will talk about in today's video. That's a lot of products. I'll come back soon and do a video sharing the holiday sets and just kind of share the ones that caught my eye, the ones that didn't. Maybe I'll break them down in terms of value and see what's actually worth it. So that video should be up soon, but I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye.